Hey everybody, welcome back to TRUtalk. This week we have two new guests, which I think that's only like the second time that's happened this whole season. We've had a lot of returning guests, so...
Have we had two new people at the same time?
Yes, on some episode somewhere that someone else can figure out, because I don't feel like digging through them. I know we did.
Are you sure?
I will 1,000,000,000,000% guarantee that we did at some point in time. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. Boom.
Okay.
Yes. We had Vood and SNR on. We had Philbo and Fishhook FPC. That's 2 episodes.
Oh, right. I forgot. I'm so used to having Fishhook around just in general. I forgot Fishhook was new.
We're 2 minutes into the show, and she's arguing with me, guys.
I always argue with you. What makes tonight any different?
Worst co-host ever.
Yeah, but you love me.
Yeah, I guess. But tonight, guys, like I said, we have 2 new guests on. We have PRPLxFoX and Lunaria. I can't even say the name right. I told you guys, I flub names.
Real simple.
I'm so the easiest freaking name in the world, and I can't say it. God. Somebody take Twitch away from me. Yeah, somebody just take all of Twitch away from me. I'm not allowed to be here anymore.
What's my name?
Your actual name or your
no,
Twitch
you're not
name?
To say my actual name on camera.
Mallet.
You're fired. I'm taking over. This is a coup.
Good call. You should take over. I don't blame you. But guys, we have the 2 new guests. So that means that we get to do 2 rounds of the interrogation questions. And we're adding a new one tonight that I thought up right before we started streaming. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to add it. And that's all there is to it. So why don't we start with PRPLxFoX. Are you prepared for the interrogation?
I don't know. You made me a little nervous there with that recent update.
That's my goal. That's why I did it. I wanted you to be a little nervous.
I'm the bad
Sweaty palm.
They're not bad. We'll start them off with an easy one. Can you just give us a brief overview of who you are as a streamer and what your channel is all about?
Okay, so I'm PRPLxFoX, part of PRPLxFoX. My buddies and I are founders of this, so we're putting together little teams for competition, competitive play, just kind of hanging out. So my stream is about, promoting the esports teams. It's educational. So I'm actually just started playing and streaming a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm in the learning process myself. So as I go along, I like to get viewers in that are trying to learn or get viewers in to help, teach me things since it's an older game. And then when it comes to like the community, it's kind of, essentially hanging out with the boys, with the bros. It's kind of how it is. It's pretty laid back. We like to, talk about chicks, have a good time, talk a little smack on people. So like I said, it's just kind of hanging out with the boys. It's friendly, family friendly with a little bit of taste. But, yeah.
Okay, so we would probably call it like PG. You guys remember whenever like you would get to watch a PG movie and like somebody would say like hell or damn or something, you'd be like, oh, he said a bad word.
I'd say a little bit more PG-13, but yeah,
okay,
not quite rated R.
Fair enough. So then that kind of answered one of the questions too of what the story behind your username is. But why is the end of it Fox? Is there a reason for that, or is it just kind of you guys picked animals and went with it?
My last name's Fox.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you got to skip one of the interrogation questions. I don't think that's fair because he just answered it.
Do I get to put the mask on now to really scare people?
No, stop it. Can't scare everyone away.
I don't scare people like me. Brad likes me.
Yeah,
He's come back like 50 times.
Yeah, and you threatened to stab him a lot. So then, what keeps you motivated to stream, and what do you like about it so much?
So I'll be honest, I was a bit of a bandwagoner when I started streaming. I'm not going to lie, but I will say as time went on, I've done my research. I've really started to dig into building a community around it. So what really draws me back to it and keeps me going is the people that I get to meet, so such as you guys, get to be part of the TRUgaming community, which is amazing. I get to be part of the community that I've grown through my stream, through my friends that are starting to get into streaming and other things like that. It's just meeting new people and getting to hear their stories is really what brings me to it.
Okay, cool. I dig it. I appreciate it. I like that you're getting to know people. That's like my favorite part too, is just getting to meet and know people. It's so much fun. So now for the new question. Are you prepared?
Again, my hands are a little sweaty, but I think I'm ready.
If you have one, what is your favorite memory while streaming?
My favorite memory while streaming. So a thing that I do with my community is I've been trying to get rid of my dad bod. So I actually set up an old webcam to where in my room I do push-ups if people will shoot me a follow, a sub, or biddies, or whatever you want to call it. And so the one kid decided that he was going to murder me, essentially, and donated, like, I can't remember the exact amount, but I ended up having to do like 250 push-ups in about a half hour. So
holy cow.
I did it. Not someone modified, we'll say. But I tried my best. That was probably my best moment, I think.
Hey, man, 250 push-ups in 30 minutes. You modify it however you want. I don't care. That's respect, dude. Yeah. How long have you been doing that? Like, how long have you been doing the workout thing?
It was actually very recently. Probably about a month ago I started it. Maybe 3 weeks ago I started. So pretty recent.
You made it longer than I did. I think I did it for 2 weeks. I did the same kind of thing. Like after like subs and things, I would spin a wheel and then I was like, all right, well, I'll do these like every hour on the hour. And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, I was thinking about modifying like how many push-ups I did because I started out as, it started with bits and I do one push-up per bit. And then like I said,
my God.
The kid kind of ran with it.
That could get bad real fast.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it can.
Yeah, I did the same, and it ended up going really bad because they were like, "Oh, female doing exercise."
Oh.
So I ended up I ended up just stopping that completely, and I made it become sit-ups, and I made sure it was side profile so y'all couldn't see anything.
Yeah,
Probably
smart. Yeah. Mallet used to
do it with these nasty beans.
Yeah, I used to do a Bean Boozle bean per sub. So Mallet would just show up at my streams and be like, "You want 50 new subs? Here you go." It would just like drop 50 subs, gifted subs to people, and I was like, "I appreciate it, but now I gotta eat all these."
Yes,
It's like a bittersweet.
yes, you do.
I stopped doing it.
No. These are legitimately some of the worst things I have ever eaten.
Oh,
Yeah.
those, you said they're jelly beans?
They're
Yes, but they're okay. So think Birdie Bots, but 20 times worse. Like here are the options: chocolate pudding or canned dog food, peach or barf.
It's like Russian roulette. But
yeah, and they're
It's like
very accurate. So I've told this story many times, but the first time that I ever ate one, I picked out one that I thought would be easy because I was like, well, I want to see like how this is gonna go. So the blue ones are either blueberry or toothpaste.
so those are good.
So I was like, oh, this is toothpaste. And I was like, oh, this tastes exactly like my toothpaste. If this is accurate, oh God, oh God. And they are very accurate. Barf tastes like barf. Spoiled milk
Dead
tastes like
fish is the worst.
what I imagine I accidentally drank spoiled milk it would taste like. They're
Isn't
awful.
there one that's like gym socks?
Yep.
Yeah, stinky
Yeah.
socks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's what I ended up eating the other night.
Yeah, a lot of these I'm wondering like who did the taste testing for this?
So-
People, like, yes.
Fun story. We looked that up one night on
Wait,
my
really?
stream because I wanted to know the same thing. I was like, how does this work? They have food scientists at Jelly Belly that they take what they want the flavor to be, and somehow, I'm not a food scientistologist, so I don't know how this works. They take it and they figure out the exact like molecular makeup of what they want it to taste like, and they remake it into a jelly bean form. And then
Ew.
all the way up to the CEO of the company and his family will try them.
Okay, at least if they're inflicting pain on us, they're also doing it for
Yeah,
themselves.
they're like, no, we're into it. We want it to be right. So I'm like, at least they're having fun with it too, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So that's a fun thing that I looked up one night on the internet. because we were also I did the same thing. I ate one. I was like, how do they get this right? Who taste tests this? Who does these things? And then I Googled it and found a whole article about it. It was very interesting. But Purple Fox, is there anything else you want to let the community know about you, about your stream, or anything like that before we interrogate our other guest here?
No, I'm just happy to be here. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thanks for joining. I'm glad to have you here. Glad we could get your technical stuff worked out. We were having some technical issues before the show, but we got it. We fixed it. He's here now.
We always have technical
and we're good to
issues
go. And we always fix it.
What's
Yes,
a
we do.
podcast without one?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
What's any performance of any kind without something going wrong? It never fails.
Amen.
So
Unfortunately true.
let's go and interrogate Lunaria now. You're gonna get the same
Yay.
questions, so it's not gonna be anything new. But to start things off, can you kind of give us a brief overview of who you are as a streamer and your channel, and kind of how you got started on Twitch?
So I'll start with like how I got started because that's mainly it. So I've just been a huge fan of video games all my life. My dad and mom were both gamers. World of Warcraft came out and I played that as an infant, so it's kind of been like born into my blood. It's really weird. And eventually I got into, I don't remember what community exactly, but it was like League of Legends, Rainbow Six, like, you know, the games that really kind of blew like video games into like the more like open public. And I met this community and they're like, you know, you kind of have some what we call like crackhead moments, and they were just kind of like, you need to stream this, like you need to like have this recorded, like do some type of content creation. And then I was actually doing YouTube for like 2 months and I was like, I'm not editing this, like I got schoolwork, I got stuff to do. So then I just decided streaming was gonna work out, and then right when I started, the affiliate program started. So I was like, this was meant to be, and I've just kind of continued ever since then. I used to be a more like art-based streamer, but ever since I moved and like ever since I've kind of stopped doing art because I've been focusing on studies a lot more, I've been more just like variety gaming type of streamer. And yeah, like again, pretty much same, like PG-13, like curse words thrown here and there, 1 or 2 like Lenny face like innuendos, but nothing that would, you know, get you banned or have me needed to like write like mature on my stream. Because when I started streaming, I wasn't even 18, so I was like, I can't put a mature tag when I'm not.
When I'm not.
When I'm not there, so I like, you know, you kind of knew the boundaries, so like I made sure, like, you know, like if there was like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old coming in, like they'd still be able to like have fun. It's just that those jokes would just go over their head, but it wouldn't like tarnish anyone, so I couldn't be held responsible. So
Cool.
that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay, fair. So then, what is the story behind your username?
So I started at so one of my best friends back home, her name was Soleil, which is French for sun. And people started calling me La Lune because we were like inseparable. It was like sun and moon. It was really cute. And she eventually moved, and then like things just went real weird. But like that nickname kind of stuck, so then I just went by Luna instead. And my original was Lunalia, so Luna and then Lie, but the E was a 3 because I was that edgy kid that wanted numbers in my name.
Yeah, real gamer name.
I changed that when streaming got a bit more serious and I wanted to do a logo and overlays, because a lot of custom fonts don't really have numbers formatted. So then I changed it to Lunaria, and it sounded a lot more prettier, had a bit more flow as well. So I've just stuck to that ever since. So I go by Luna, and I used to be real ashamed of my real name for some reason. So I used to have my real name like blocked, like on chat, like if someone put it, like they just delete it. Like I don't know why, but now I'm just here, like I go by Luna or Tanya, and I don't mind, but most people still know me as Luna.
Okay, that's a cool story. I like that it's kind of like carried over from like childhood. That's pretty cool.
It's evolved. It's developed. It's really
right
stuck.
So then, what now that you've been streaming for a while? It sounds like, what keeps you motivated to keep streaming, and what do you love about it?
Gonna be real, there are months where I go like I do not want to, but I'm not motivated at all. And sometimes it's mainly because a lot of my viewers are people who are in school. So usually during like the midterm month or like finals month, the viewership drops really low to a point where there are days or hours in streams that go 0, and you're just kind of like, yeesh, I used to be doing double digits and now it's dropped. Like, what do I do? But most of the time it's like, if I have that low, I try to stream with friends who are free. I try to like see what their schedules are, readjust mine a little bit so I can be like at least with company while doing that. And in general, just the community that I've been able to build, that I'm genuinely like so glad but also shocked that I have, just kind of keep me motivated. Like if I disappear for 2 weeks, they're like, we need a stream, come back like right now. So like it's always that like back and forth, and like I'm open in my community whenever I'm like I'm too busy or I can't, like, so that's been my main motivation of just being able to like be there for people, I guess.
That's a really good reason, I think, too. I like that you said you're open with your community. I think some people kind of struggle with that, of just being like, hey man, I'm sorry, I'm really struggling right now with whatever it is, and I can't do a stream for, you know, a couple of days. And some people just won't communicate at all, and they'll just be like, bye, and just sort of drop off the face of the earth for a few days.
I mean, it's definitely because I started very small, and most of my viewers were my friends. So, like, they already knew what was going on. But then I just kind of carried that friendliness into my stream. And every time someone new came in, obviously, it's not like someone comes in and I go, like, here's my entire emotional baggage on you. But, like, if they join the server or if they follow my Twitter, like, they're going to hear me go, like, yo, okay, I'm tired. Can I not stream? Like, please. Like, so, like, I try to maintain that, like, communication while I still can. Because I know, like, up to a certain threshold where it gets too chaotic, you can't have that type of, like, close of a connection anymore because you're managing so many people. But right now, I'm at a perfect number where it's, like, I can still, like, have one-on-one interactions with people. I can still be real with people. I don't have to worry about, like, if I tell this group that other group's not gonna know, and then they're gonna feel betrayed as fans or subscribers. Like, it's still a very open communication, and I haven't had to deal with like moderating my own community yet. And I'm kind of hoping I don't have to, but also kind of want to get to that point. So
right, it's kind of like a double-edged sword of like, man, I really don't want to like have to deal with people being jerks, but as you grow, it just kind of happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm noticing a couple of
cat?
frame stutters.
That is my neighbors.
Okay.
Oh my god, your
My
neighbors.
closet wall. I'm in a dorm. My closet wall's like the wall of my neighbor's living room.
Oh, okay.
Their TV is rigged to this wall.
Yep, that'll do it.
And they're gamers, and sometimes I know they're throwing their controllers onto the wall. I just hear like this in the middle of the night, and I'll be like,
oh god.
I'll be like, what game?
Yeah, what y'all playing over there?
Penny or Loki screaming.
Oh no.
Like, who's stepping on your cat's tail?
No.
What the heck?
No, it's just someone probably dying in a fighting game.
Yeah.
Because of frame locks. Like,
Well, we've all done that.
It happens.
I mean,
that's why I don't blame them until it's like 2 a.m. and I'm here like, I need sleep.
Yeah. Could y'all
Sleeps for the
stop?
week. Sleeps for the week.
So then we'll grill you with our last question, the new one, and then we'll move on to some topics and segments. What is, if you have one, your favorite memory while streaming? If you don't have one, that's okay. I realized that after I started this question, I was like, what if people are just like, I don't know, dude, I've been streaming for like a week. So if you have one, what has been your favorite memory while streaming?
I would say my first stream after getting affiliate. I got affiliate and then I arranged a stream like the day after, and I don't know why or who or how they planned this, but I got it, and then the next day I instantly like got, I think, a total of like 72 gifted subs, like right off the bat. Like I had like a lot of like the dedicated viewers like just instantly cheered, like did subs, like everything. And I remember crying on stream because I was like, so much love, like I don't, what's happening? But at that time, I was doing the jumping jacks thing too, so very similar to what Purple Fox had of 72 gifted subs, and me going, no.
Awesome.
I was expecting to do like 5.
The standing.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, at the end of it, I was just kind of like flapping my arms. I was like, I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
Because I was like 10 per gifted sub.
Yeah. So you're just like, thank you so much. Everything hurts. I'm gonna die.
It's like first stream after getting affiliate dies on stream.
Right.
Eyes on camera, yes.
I think that breaks TOS, so be careful.
Passes out permanently on stream.
Right.
There
There we go. Has fainted. You're a Pokemon now. You have fainted.
Oh my gosh.
So then, Lunaria, is there anything else that you want to let people know about you or your stream, or anything before we move on to our topics and a game?
Not really. I just want to apologize if my neighbors start yelling even more.
That makes it fun.
Hey, yeah, that's okay. You can't control them yelling.
Don't
It's
worry,
all
I
good.
blame MPI for everything, and it works out.
I mean, yeah, it works well, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one topic for sure that we're going to talk about, but Mallet raised her hand like she has something. What?
I got a story I want to tell people because it's hilarious.
What do you want?
Rude. So, okay, who plays D&D? I play D&D. Anybody else play D&D? Okay, awesome. So I'm doing a Star Wars campaign on Sunday afternoons, and so we're fighting these guys. And we've already pissed our DM off a lot by talking our way out of situations. Like, we have a cult now because we talked our way out of this fight scene that he spent all week planning. So he's started making it so now we're only able to shoot. He's not letting us talk to people. So my boyfriend McKittens, he ended up killing a guy by spitting in his face.
How?
Okay, so first he rolls a nat 20 to like nail the guy with a plasma cannon, but the guy's still up, right? So he wants to walk over and spit in this guy's face. And he does, and the DM tells him to roll, and he rolls a nat 20 for spitting in the guy's face. So the guy was so little health, but since it was a crit, it ended up killing him with spit.
That was great.
We were happy. All right, that's
Mallet, did I tell you about the time that I blew up a horse?
Oh no, I want to hear.
Okay, so we were playing D&D, right? And it was the first time that I played 5e. Before that, I'd only played Call of Cthulhu. So I made a barbarian because I was just gonna punch everything.
Shouldn't you have been a monk then?
No, I wanted to like break everything.
Okay.
Like I wanted to Hulk out and just lose my mind.
That's
So I'm trying to get a horse, right? We're trying to ride one. And our DM says, okay, so you can go up to the stable and pay for it, or you guys can try to sneak in and steal one. Obviously, we're going to steal one. Spending money's dumb.
Why would you spend gold on a horse?
Yeah, that sounded silly at the time. So me being the giant thing that I am not particularly stealthy. So we're walking up, and one of them starts to run away, and he's running, and is starting to make noise, but none of the other ones had noticed yet. So I wanted to like donk it and just like knock it out, like stop, like I don't want to startle the rest of the horses. So I got a hammer out, and I rolled, and he told me to roll for some kind of hit, I don't remember. And I rolled a nat 20 and then rolled full damage, and I hit it so hard that it just turned to mist. We did not successfully steal a horse. We had to walk. But it sure was funny.
I actually have a similar like crazy nat 20
Yes!
story. So this was first ever D&D.
Okay.
Genuinely first, and it was 5e, but slightly altered because the DM wanted to do it a little bit different, mainly especially with spells, because spells was like really finicky with like items and whatnot. It didn't really matter for me. I remember the name of my character. For some reason, I don't remember the class. I think I was like Archer or Hunter or whatever that was.
Okay.
And yeah, Ranger. And this is like the first thing. And he was gonna do this for like, it was like a 5-session long thing that he had planned out. It was this like entire like city island kind of like between a war between like ogres and pirates and then like necromancy like in the back. So it was like this whole like mess. And it was gonna take around like 5 like 2-hour sessions to like go through. And what was gonna happen, he told me this afterwards, but what was gonna happen was he was gonna get us to like clear like each segment, so like orc segment and then that like one by one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we had like he tried to end the first ever session with like an escape scene, like of a like it was like the big mafioso orc like chasing after us and something, and we were weaklings and like we couldn't fight him and blah blah blah. And then I remember I did an observation roll, and it was like checking for anything flammable.
Okay.
So like gas tubes and piping and all of that, or like gunpowder because pirates infiltrated. I was like checking. And then he's like, yes, the city's like littered with gunpowder and you can see like how like blah blah blah. And I was like, I have a match and an arrow.
You did not.
And he's like, oh, you're gonna have to roll a nat 20 for that. I mean, like, I will try to shoot. Cause like he realized what I was thinking. He's like, the nearest one to you, like, we were running, so we were moving, so going up and down, being chased. And he's like, the nearest one to you is right in the alley you just escaped, but it's behind that big fat ogre that's blocking the way. You're gonna have to shoot like a perfect shot. Nat 20 plus a +4 modifier. There was no way I wasn't making it. I did it, and like, he just had to. Chain reaction, whole city's gone.
And then I burnt down a city.
Session ends. I go from, like, we're all, like, level 2. I go from level 2. He calculates. I ended up at level 11. Number 1.
Because you killed everyone.
Number 2. Our DM, his name's Lee. Lee just went, I hate you. the session ended. Everyone's out of character. And Lee goes, Tanya? Why did you roll that 20? He's like, you just ruined, like, because this campaign, like, he took, like, a month to, like, plan the starting. And I just feel like...
My bad.
Our DM's trying to push us towards this huge church right now for my other campaign. Mm-hmm. And we all were like, yeah, when the DM mentions something 7 times in the course of a session, probably a good idea to run in the opposite direction.
Yep.
So we went to the sewers.
Always go not there.
No, it's great. We've got like 14 NPCs with us. The city is on fire and full of zombies, and we're in the sewers right now.
I mean, that just sounds like a regular zombie apocalypse movie to me.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's the safest way? Yeah, we'll get in the sewers.
My favorite part about like this story was the session after was a month later because you had to like replan a lot of things for like a new arc, and everything. And in that month, I was low key like dating someone who was in that campaign, and in that month it didn't go well. Let's put it that way. And he just left. So like DM had to come up with an excuse, right?
Where'd that character go?
I was a ranger, right? I was a ranger elf. Chaotic neutral.
Oh no.
And he was like paladin, like lawful good, whatever.
Please tell me you slit his throat because
So what happened was we had escaped. We had landed ashore. We had escaped and our boat like sank and like we all landed ashore, and because he was a paladin in full clad armor, he died. Like he just couldn't. And he washed up on shore, and me, chaotic neutral ranger elf who gives no Fs, takes all his loot, burns his body. Because he's a paladin, I burned his body in a graveyard. and I just went like like proceeded to like join the team, and like the team members had to pretend they weren't, like they didn't see that. And then
Everything's
like,
fine.
So where is he? And then I just like my character just like shows like his little belt and goes like, dead. Like, that
As
was
you should.
genuinely like
That's
best
amazing.
like first session like campaign
So
like I've ever had.
cathartic. And
And,
I'm gonna be
like-
building a halfling monk one day named Colossus the Tall, and he's gonna punch people in the crotch and agree with him, or call him short.
Punch them in the crotch so that they get like lower than him. It's like,
Yeah.
who's the short one now?
Yeah, now
huh?
who's short?
Exactly.
That would be pretty good.
Exactly. All right, that was my story. I say that.
All right. So let's talk about something that is a different game. So you guys have probably heard of a game. It's called Fortnite.
Never heard of it.
It's not what I would call a fun game, but it's a game. So recently, there was a YouTuber, content creator. His name was Jarvis. I guess he was part of the FaZe clan, if you guys know FaZe, who was banned, permabanned from Fortnite for using aimbot. After this happened, other big content creators came out and kind of came to his defense. So Dr. Disrespect came out and said that he thinks it shouldn't have been a permaban because it was his first offense doing this apparently, and it wasn't in a tournament. He was just doing a YouTube video, kind of for funsies, and he thinks it should only be like a small ban. That I can maybe get behind this argument. I don't know the TOS of Fortnite because I don't care. But I can see making an argument of saying, you know, a ban for a little while and then back, and that being the end of it. That's fine. So now, this is where I start to take issue with what someone has said, and I don't think you guys are super on board with it either. Ninja said that because he has so many followers and viewers and is a content creator, he deserves to be treated with special, basically treated special and not banned. And that they're taking away his ability to make money now, and banning content creators is bad for your game.
Yeah, that's starting to make me think Ninja's aimbotting too, and he's trying to hide it. That's my first thought by hearing that.
I mean, and I don't think that, and he even says, like, you know, maybe like a 6-month ban from comp is fine, and a ban and like a small ban from the game is okay, but not to be permabanned. It was just his reasoning was, I don't agree with that. To me, at that point, a content creator should be held in a higher standard than the average Joe, especially someone that big. I have no idea who this guy is, but apparently he's big in the Fortnite scene. So PRPLxFoX, I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think about all of this? Do you think he should have been banned at all? Maybe it should be a short one. Do you think that content creators should be held to a higher standard, especially the big guys?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So I think like the big guys. I mean, there's hard because then you got that gray area on who's a big guy, who's not, who do you hold accountable. I truly think there should be a set standard. It shouldn't matter if it's me, Ninja, or FaZe Jarvis, but they should be held more responsible than not being as responsible. So I disagree completely with what Ninja has to say. I get it that, I mean, this kid has made a heck of a career through content creation and playing Fortnite. And I was real big into Fortnite. I played all the way from before Season 1 up until Season 10 because I couldn't deal with the mechs. I couldn't do it. and I've watched FaZe Jarvis. I've seen him since he started on YouTube. And his content's great, but I just don't understand why he would even think about playing with an aimbot. I don't know what the content would give someone. I don't know. I just don't agree with it. But I do agree with Dr. Disrespect on, I don't think it should be a permanent ban. If it's his first offense, kid's young, you know, so you make mistakes. It happens. We all do. So, again, being a first offense, I think he should have a ban. I can't really say 6 months or how long, but definitely a permanent ban is just too long in my opinion, and unnecessary in that sense because, I mean, even for a regular, if a regular is going to go in and say they just want to, for whatever reason, mess around with an aimbot, that's the risk you take, is getting caught, I guess, if you're going to use an aimbot. I'm not for cheating, but people do it. And, one time, shame on you, or shame on them, but second time, shame on you for it because, and then that's a wrap, just send them on their way and it's your fault.
Yeah, and another thing too that I kind of took away that was weird was like that he said he's taking away his ability to make money. There's other video games like you don't have to just play Fortnite, and like sure that's what helped him blow up, and he's probably going to lose some viewership if he played other things, but there's other games, man.
See, the thing with FaZe Jarvis and a few other larger streamers is I've never seen them play anything else. So they could be very well just as good as another game because they're a gamer. That's the one thing is like, if you're a gamer, you're going to be good at one game and you'll be able to pick up on that learning curve, especially when you start a new game. So I don't know how he is regarding that, but as a content creator, he's a Fortnite content creator. So to have him step in a different realm could be very difficult. And I don't know how well his following is regarding outside of Fortnite. I've only ever followed him, watched him because of Fortnite. And if it went to anything more than that, I don't know if I'd even follow him. So.
I mean, my thought about it is twofold. First off, when you're that big of a deal like that, and I hate to use this phrase, but it's true. You are a role model to the others in the community. Mm-hmm. You're someone who is looked up to, and then, I mean, especially with Fortnite, with its skews younger audience. That's a whole realm of much younger people who watch this guy and look up to him. If they see, like, consequences have to be more stringent for somebody of that caliber, because if they don't, A, people are going to be like, well, why didn't he didn't get punished because he's a big deal, and B, other people are going to think it's okay. Raise your hand if you've had a game ruined by an aimbotter or a hacker in any game. See? We've all had games ruined, and game companies for practically every game I've ever played has gotten pushback for not being hard enough on these hackers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't care that he was, I mean, come on, we learn in grade school that cheating is dumb and cheating is bad. Like, I agree that maybe, not a permaban could be justified? Yeah, I could see. Ban on competitive play for, 6 months, all that jazz,
Definitely.
I, ban, I don't know, 2-month ban from just play in general, 6-month competitive ban. I don't know. But would I be okay with that? Yeah, sure. But you have to hold yourself to a higher standard when you're representing an organization like that. And he's representing not only FaZe Clan, but Fortnite and Epic.
Mm-hmm. So. And how many times are we going to have... How many times is FaZe going to put up with having problems like this? Because this isn't the first time that they've come under fire for something, especially in the Fortnite community. Granted, the first time it was their own fault. But this time around, it's they dude kind of dropped the ball, and it paints FaZe in a bad way, I think. Because it's happened in other esports as well, where a player gets caught cheating, and then the whole org gets dragged through the mud. Like, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering right, it happened with a Counter-Strike player for Optic at one point, and for a little while...
a lot with League esports as well.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, so, and for a little while after that, everybody was kind of like, well, I mean, dude, if they did it, what about your other teams? So... But, Lunaria, what do you think about all of this? Do you think they should be held to a higher standard, or no?
The first part of, that defense of, taking away, his money, or, the way he earns money, from what I know of how FaZe operates, they have certain content creators for certain games. They're contracted under FaZe for that game. So in a way, I could understand like FaZe might potentially detach him being banned from Fortnite because he's FaZe Jarvis under the Fortnite FaZe clan, not under anything else. So I also see in chat like about like FaZe not responding. That might be why they're like already making in like progress of like disassociating him from their branding.
Yeah, maybe they're figuring out what they're gonna do. They're like, I don't even know what to do yet. We haven't gotten this.
They're likely talking to lawyers.
Like very likely. And secondly, I'm someone who actually plays Fortnite a lot. Like I enjoy the game. Like it's just fun when you're like messing around with friends and whatnot. Like I'm a decently forgiving person, so I feel like permaban not really, especially on a first offense. But because he's a content creator, I'm more worried about the lasting effects of it. Because like you said, younger audience, they're gonna think, oh, he got away with it. Maybe I could too. So it's one of those like now that he's banned, if he gets unbanned, that might also cause some other repercussions. So it's a very iffy situation for both FaZe and Fortnite in general on like how they want to handle this situation. Because I will admit, like devil's advocate in a way, like FaZe Jarvis, his publicity brings more people towards Fortnite. He has a creator code, which means people are spending money on Fortnite through him. Like Fortnite has something to lose here. But at the same time, it's like it's a lose-lose situation for both parties. And then in terms of Ninja, like defending, I feel like it was much more him just trying to defend one of like his own and then realizing it was stupid and then backtracking on what he said, which a lot of content creators do nowadays. They say something, don't think it through, and go like, oh wait, whoops, didn't mean it. Which
yeah, and I don't know that we're gonna see like Fortnite losing a lot from this, just because I mean it's Fortnite, it's huge, whether we like it or not. Yeah, and there's also other people that play it, so a lot of people have a creator code. So if they won't use his, more people will move to using like Tim the Tatmans or Ninjas, something like that. I don't see it hurting Fortnite a whole lot, other than like maybe if you have some like really diehard Jarvis fans, but I don't know. I don't know that it should be a permanent ban immediately. I kind of agree with that, especially because he didn't use it in comp. It was in just him making a video. But I almost kind of wonder too how much of this is them using him as like setting an example, being
Probably
like,
exactly.
"Hey, big boy got caught doing it, and we perma banned him. What do you think we're gonna do to you, little Timmy, when you get caught?"
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
I will say though, like with him getting banned and everything, it's very much it's really interesting to kind of see like where people stand on this whole thing when it comes to like aimbots, first offenses, and whatnot. Because I do agree of like if you're using it in a public server, then like, dude, you're kind of ruining the experience, and it's a battle royale,
right?
Of like 100 people, you're ruining 99 players pretty much.
Yeah.
You could be. But secondly, the fact that he was making this for a video is what concerns me. It's one thing to use it as like someone who's like curious, like he's a 17-year-old, like just curious, like, yo, what if, like, what does it feel like to like have an aimbot? Like, okay, understandable, you know, call of the devil, suit yourself if you get caught, you know the consequences. But to like think of making a video on it, I'm just like, under what context is that video? Like, what's that video gonna be?
Right.
Like, like, what was it gonna be? Because, like, let's just say, like, he does use an aimbot, publishes it, and then more kids, most of these kids probably don't know what an aimbot is. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, until he points out what it is or something.
Until he, like, he's probably gonna have to explain it or go, like, aimbots help you shoot better, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then kids are gonna upgrade from hackers to aimbots, and I'm 100% sure most of these kids are literate enough to Google that, and you can easily find that anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's more my concern of the fact that he was planning on making content out of it. Like, I could kind of see like the temptation of like, I want to mess around with this, but I cannot understand why you would use it for a video.
Yeah. The only way that I've thought about this, and the only way that I could see it being like a video that isn't kind of dumb like this was, is if it was either a huge rampant problem in Fortnite where like every game you're getting killed by somebody with an aimbot, and he's pointing out how easy it is to do this, and it's like almost like a call out to Epic, like, hey, this is a problem, you gotta fix this. Or if it was like something educational of like, this is what to look out for. If you encounter this, this is how you can, you know, report it to Epic and we can get this fixed as a community. But it doesn't seem like that's what it was.
But oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, at his status, though, don't you think he has some kind of other communication with Epic?
With Epic.
Say,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
You know, it's not, again, it's not your just regular, you know, medium-sized streamer. I mean, he is FaZe Jarvis. So when it comes to that, he's got a say with Fortnite and the way that Fortnite plays. That was his intentions. I definitely think he needed to, you know, reroute the way he wanted to communicate that with the community and with Epic.
Yeah. I would say if that's what he was doing, which, again, I don't think that's what it was, I could see where doing a video about it is kind of like pushing it on them a little bit harder because it's in the public eye. Like just recently, Markiplier, if you guys know who that is, he's a YouTuber.
Called out YouTube.
Yeah, and he made a production with YouTube, and it is a choose your own adventure kind of video.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's fun. But he live streamed it, and he said, spam your emotes if you want me to go left, spam your emotes if you want me to go right. So people started getting banned from their entire Google account.
Yep.
So you couldn't get, people couldn't get in their Gmail accounts, people couldn't get to their calendar, you know, Google Sheets, Google Docs. I wouldn't have been able to turn my thermostat up and down from not my phone. I mean, I'd have to get up and go turn it off. But I know
recoveries.
I know that's a whole thing. But yeah, and so like you can't get to your bills, you can't pay some of your bills.
And you couldn't appeal it because a lot of them tried to like submit for appeal, and then they went under revision. We still can't take it away.
And some people got it reversed and then got banned a few seconds later for the exact
like 30 minutes later.
Yeah, but when this happened, he immediately made a video about it and was like, "Yo,
not cool.
This is a problem. YouTube, this is what happened. This happened in my stream, so I want to be the one to talk to you about it." And they actually responded, which is not something YouTube does very often. They are very behind the scenes with what they do. And they responded to him on Twitter and was like, hey, we're fixing it. And he made another video about it after that. I was like, hey, they're working on it. And it's still not completely fixed. Just so everybody knows, it's still in the works of it. There's some people, I guess, that their account's back, but their YouTube videos are gone. So hopefully they can somehow work all that out. But to roll it all back to the actual thing that we're talking about, and not be on a tangent.
We're good at those.
Yeah, we're really good at those. Sometimes that seems like the better way to get a company to do something is kind of put it in the public eye. Yeah, and you don't have to be like, hey, Epic, you suck, I hate you. But it's just more like, hey, just so you know, this is a problem. And if I'm seeing it as a problem, I'm sure other people do too. And there's no way that people haven't tried to contact them about it. Because sometimes that happens too, of you're trying to contact the back end, like, hey guys, this is a problem. Hey, and then nobody answers, and you go, okay, cool, well, I'm going to Twitter.
Well, yeah, but the whole Markiplier situation, I mean, it's different for a couple reasons. First off, Markiplier's been, like, in their top 10 channels that aren't, like, Vivo channels for good 5-6 years now. And the whole Heist with Markiplier thing was a YouTube original. Yeah. So Google basically paid him to make that. Yeah. So that makes it a little bit different, I think, than this, especially since, you know, yeah, he's big, but he's not the biggest. He's not
Markiplier big.
He is not to Fortnite and Twitch the way Markiplier is to YouTube at this point in time. Like, a better comparison, I think, to like Markiplier would be like, you know, if Tim the Tapman wanted to do something.
Mhm.
Like, that's the better comparison. So it's like, to me, but again, to me, the real thing that really gets it is that he's a 17-year-old kid who, to me, made a bad decision.
Yeah.
So
We all made bad decisions at 17.
I have a question about these younger streamers, being that Jarvis is 17. You know, the kid is making probably a good amount of money than most people, you know.
Dude
as
lives in a
content
mansion.
creator. Yeah.
Well, he left, apparently.
And the thing, you know, the kid's 17 years old, and the question is that I have at least is, how do you hold these kids responsible that are 17? I mean, I was washing dishes and cars and stuff at 17 during the summer and stuff, and like, I was very irresponsible with my money.
I will say, and I don't mind disclosing this, I recently turned 18.
Okay.
If I can think like this, he has every reason to think the same. Because the thing is, like, I don't know how old any of y'all are, but I'm just gonna say
Older than that.
at this like point, when all of us were teenagers, like 2 years could make a huge difference on how much we learned, how much access we had to information and opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like for example, like my mom being at 17 is a very different level of, I won't say intelligence, but very different level of exposure to like different situations than me at 17.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe you at 17, like you were still like working in, like you were still like washing the dishes, doing the chores. Twitter wasn't probably as prevalent, like blah blah blah. Like you this exposure to like
Not
these
that
controversies and like that type of things. Like it wasn't as apparent. It wasn't as like part of your life. Meanwhile, for me, I'm here like I'm a baby Gen Z, blah blah. Like my entire kind of like raising was based off of like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram blowing up. Like I was born and like kind of like brought up in like cancel culture, call out culture, like a lot of toxicity, but also a lot of like self-care culture and blah blah blah. Like you get a lot more exposure to these type of things, and I feel like at this point the expectations for people around 15 to 16 to have a bit more of that common sense in terms of like example, like all of us in our teen years or in our like middle school years already knew cheating is bad. We all knew this as kids, no matter which generation. I don't see why that wouldn't apply to my, like, technically he's my generation, especially in the virtual world when we're kind of raised in the virtual world of knowing what cheating is, knowing what hacking could be, and then still deciding that's a good idea. You know, like I feel like the standards for a teenager now in terms of like what's common sense and what they should know is a bit different from what it would before. Like before, kids were more expected to be able to like work a bit more, like work a part-time at 16, but now people are more expected, do you have a social media presence at 16? Because that's the only reason we're hiring you. Like it's sad, but it's different. So I kind of expected Jarvis to have at least some of that, especially at his level of fame. He should know what that exposure does and brings, and it should have enacted some sort of maturity in him.
I would also say if you're making millions of dollars, no matter how old you are, you should know that you don't mess with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't risk losing $1 million when I was 17.
I mean, come on, how many lottery winners do we blow it? Okay, I'm not that freaking old. I'm 25. So it's like...
Hey, I'm 24.
Okay, yeah, we're not that old, I promise.
No, I'm just saying, like...
I know I look like I'm 5.
I would kind of think, too, like... we think that in general, like, you know, someone who grew up on the internet would know that the internet can screw you over pretty quick with work. Yeah. You would also think that you have FaZe Clan, who has been around since forever now. They're one of the older esports organizations and more established out there, who by now should know what they're doing. Would really kind of like instill in these younger kids, like, hey man, be smart. Like you gotta be smart about this stuff, dude. So I'm surprised that there wasn't more of that.
Responsibility, though.
Yes.
Not entirely, but to an extent, a little bit. Yeah. I would think it's not necessarily their responsibility to make sure that he doesn't do these things, but more to be like, hey, we know what we're doing. We've been around the block a time or two since you've been born, and you need to like, you know, we need to kind of raise him into this culture and let him learn about it and kind of teach him and guide him on the best path to success that he can be, because he's successful makes FaZe successful. He fails makes FaZe fail a little bit and makes them look bad. You know, this is the second PR nightmare they're having in less than, 6 months. So I think that guiding these younger players better is something that organizations should be doing. Not just FaZe, all of them should be doing it.
I say they're responsible because they're the ones who decided to hire a minor in the first place.
Yeah,
they made the choice to hire a minor. Like that's all there is to it. They were the ones who made that decision, and they are the ones who have to. I mean, as the Dowager Countess of Grantham would say, stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think that like, like Epic shouldn't be coming down on like FaZe Clan or anything like that. I'm not saying FaZe should be in trouble for this.
No, but FaZe should be.
They should be kind of like, they should be holding his hand a little bit more. Like, we're going across the parking lot, buddy. Come on, hold Papa's hand. They shouldn't just be like, I don't know, run to the car and figure it out on your own.
I mean, legally,
when he's still a kid.
Like, basically, he's young enough to where legally a parent or a guardian would have had to sign a contract with him. He couldn't have signed it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That alone tells me it's like he's not.
Yeah, and I wouldn't ever put this on.
Mature. He's clearly mature because he's mature enough to go off and live, on his own or wherever it is they have him staying. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not that far removed from 17. It's like I'm not even 10 years out from it. I still remember I don't remember that year very well, but I mean, I still remember sort of what it was like to be 17 and be very confused about your place in the world and where are you going next.
Mm-hmm.
It's like high school's ending for me. College was getting ready to start, and I felt very lost and confused at times because it's like you're being told, oh, you're getting ready to be an adult now, but at the same time, you're not. You're still a child, and you still have to listen to your elders and stuff like that. So that's a lot to put on somebody's shoulders. And then also, I think he's British, maybe, which would be even crazier because then he's moving to another country on top of everything else. So do I sympathize? Yes. But I don't know. It's like there are a lot of people who should have been there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's almost like one of those. Yeah, like we could say like shoulda, coulda, woulda all day.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know that the full ban is necessary, but my original point definitely stands that content creators, big or small, should not be treated with special treatment like this. If anything, they should be held to a higher standard.
Amen.
Agreed.
I mean, one last thing, I'm kind of Googling it. FaZe is leaving his mansion after all of this to stay with his family, which I think is a decently good outcome from what happened. Because I feel like also one of the things is social media, and especially I could imagine going to that point of fame and success at such a young age. It amplifies that feeling that you mentioned of like feeling lost.
Yeah.
You're even more like put on a pedestal. You're even more expected to be this established like individual when, dude, like you just hit puberty.
Yeah, and
fun,
he's
right?
And he's probably
like,
catching a lot of flack on like Twitter and stuff like that, where people are
so I'm just here like
saying God knows what.
Imagine like if you were getting hate even now, like yeesh. Like so imagine doing that like in your teen years when you're still very much like. And, like, the thing is, his fame was very quick, too. So he's probably not used to this yet.
Yeah. Yeah, like, he's not as established as some of these other guys. Like,
let's just say if FaZe Scissors got this, or if Ninja got this. They've been in the scene for a while. They can handle a good amount of, like, salt and, like, hate without breaking down. Jarvis is so new. He is baby. He is a literal baby.
Right.
And, it's, like, I can sympathize with him as well. And I'm just here like the fact that he's going back with his family means in like a realistic aspect, number one means like he at least recognizes his net worth is going down and his income's gonna go down. He's not gonna be able to support that LA mansion. But secondly, it's also like it might be nice for him to kind of go back into his childhood a bit. Like maybe this like take away from the spotlight or being shunned from the spotlight might do him some good in terms of like giving him a breather.
Yeah, and kind of letting
like,
him see what can happen. And he's learning that at a young age.
And I'm sure like all of us know, like as content creators, like content creating is so tiring. And he's doing this daily. He's doing this like he's consistent. He's expected to be at a certain caliber. Child needs a breather. Like, dude, like if you told me I had to do homework every night, like during 17, I'd be angry, let alone produce content for that many people at that quality every day.
Yeah, I remember homework. Sort of.
Yeah, I don't miss that at all.
Okay, look, I got hit on the head twice. Like, when I was, like, after, like, 2011. I had, like, 2 concussions in 3 months, so I don't remember that year or the next year. Or I tripped and fell on my face, and then a car accident. But the first one, yeah, I tripped and fell on my
That'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky, though. I fell so fast, I couldn't get my arms out underneath me, so I probably would have broken my wrist. And that. Did the show, bleeding all over the floor. That was fun. They didn't have time to get me bandaged up before the competition started, so I'm hopping on one leg, bleeding everywhere, trying really hard not to cry.
You in?
Yeah, it was competitive indoor percussion.
That sounds like not the best idea.
Well, I was in the front, like, the xylophones and stuff, but I was like frontline, so like I was one of the people all the judges were looking at, and it's like my entire left side was all torn up. I'm bleeding from like my knee and my side and all this other stuff, and I'm on one leg trying desperately to play this super hard show, which if you know anything, what practically was an indoor concussion. If you know anything about music or time signatures or anything like that, we had practically every time signature known to man in the first 16 bars of this piece, and it was all from memory. So yeah, my mother was not happy. Mom almost beat him up. Mom did pretty much beat him up a few months later, but yeah. With a cane. A hot pink cane. Mom just grabbed him and smack!
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have any more thoughts on this Jarvis? FaZe Jarvis.
Stay in school, kids!
I second that notion.
I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do whatever you want.
Stay in school, kids!
Don't let fame get to your head.
That's a fair point, too.
And don't do what I do.
Don't do it for the clout.
Don't do it for the gram.
Really don't. Bad ideas.
So let's move on, and we're gonna play a short game that I call Back of the Box Trivia.
Yes.
So I take a handful of video games that I physically own because I still buy physical games. Hate on it all you want. Don't care. And I have 8 games here. And I'm going to read the back of the box and omit anything that would give it away. So, like, I'm not going to say jump into this game. I'm just going to say blank if that comes up. And we'll go around the group, and you guys can try to guess the game. How do you feel about that? Do you feel confident? Can you do it?
Let's go.
Got
Let's
sweaty
try.
palms again.
All right. So I will give you a hint whenever it is necessary. I'm trying to find an easier one to start with here. This one looks fairly
You used all
simple.
the easy ones 2 weeks ago.
I don't know about that. I got a few games here. Okay, so we'll start with this one first. A Blank Games production. America,
Ooh.
1899. The end of the Wild West era has begun.
Red Dead.
Which Red Dead? Red Dead Redemption 2. See, I told you guys it's not that bad. The first one's easy.
No, I heard Wild West. I'd be like,
Yeah. I was like, America 1899, Wild West, easy one. All right, so let's see here. Some of them don't have a lot of words on the back sometimes, so I try to find the ones that have more words to start out with. So this one's got a fair bit of words. All right.
Words.
Here, I'll go ahead and give you the hint on this one before I start. And I don't know if this will help any of you at all. This was an Xbox One launch title.
Yep, that doesn't help.
That's been 5 years now, I think. 5 or 6 years. So take that with what you will. But it was a launch title on the Xbox One. It was one of the few games that was out when the console launched. Fight as a soldier, lead as a general, rise as a legend. Amidst the chaos of the late Roman Empire, embark on a perilous campaign of revenge through the immersive realism powered by Xbox One. It was a launch title. They really wanted to get that Xbox One power in there. Experience brutal skirmishes and massive battles as you fight to restore honor to Rome at any cost.
Oh, I know this. It's like right there. I'm picturing like the commercial. I remember seeing it in my head, and I
swear I've seen like cutscenes of this.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I know exactly what it is. I just cannot put the name to it right now.
Chat, no spoiling until everybody's
I'm not
guessed.
looking at chat. I'm not.
Yeah.
You guys
Chat,
look
don't
at
get-
right now. Chat, no
Give 'em
spoiling
an answer
until
to-
everybody is guessed.
Yeah, give them a chance to guess. Do you guys want more of the box? Will that help? I can tell you that it says Xbox One more. There's another one that says Xbox One brings the brutal intensity of close quarters combat to life in visceral detail.
Well, no, you all can play,
God,
but give the people on camera a chance to guess before you start blurting out the answers.
The text
I
on
can't
here is
even
so
see
small.
that.
Sergey,
It's like it's tiny font on a black background and it's gray text.
ooh,
Can
This
you
is
give us the
poor
first
design.
letter of this
Yeah.
title?
Sure. The very first letter of the entire game is R.
I don't know. I was gonna say Rome, but I don't think that would be it. You would have blanked it.
I know, but that's just all chat.
Yeah. So I will give Purple Fox half a point. Because it is Rise, son of Rome. So you said Rome. So we'll give you a partial point for that one. Also, this is essentially whose line does it matter, or whose line it is anyway. The points don't matter. All right. All right. Let's really throw it back. This was originally launched on the original Xbox.
Yeah, that's not helpful either.
So
Consoles don't help.
yeah,
Consoles aside.
it was an exclusive to those consoles. That's kind of
really not
some of the hints
helpful.
sometimes. And again, chat, give them a chance to guess. Let's let our guests try to play before you guys blurt out the answers. For every choice, a consequence. Fully remastered with HD visuals and audio, Blank Anniversary is a stunning rendition of the original game that will delight faithful fans and new players alike. Imagine a world where every choice and action determines what you become, where you evolve in real time based on every little thing you do.
I don't know. How should I know?
Was Life is Strange console? No. Yes.
It was, but that is not the answer. That was also on the Xbox One. It was not on the the OG Xbox. So you're two console generations forward. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Xbox One.
It's the anniversary of an original.
Yeah. I have the actual original if you want me to go get that and read it. Yeah, I'll get one more hint. Mark gave a pretty good hint. There were 3 of them. It was a trilogy.
Yeah, I don't know. I give up.
Can we get a genre of the game?
I would call it like an action RPG.
That does not narrow anything down.
Huh.
Still give up. Yep.
I give up.
It was Fable.
I don't know what that is.
Heard of it, never played it though.
Fable. There's the cover art.
No idea what it is.
Yep.
Massage chair.
That was a pretty fun game back in the day, and then the third one was not super hot, in my opinion. Yeah, we can't do that one. It has like no explanation on the back. Well, the one that I was gonna do is Firewatch. If you guys have played that,
Major Burns, yeah.
Yeah, and it actually only released on digital, and then there's a company called Limited Run Games that releases digital games physically in like limited bursts. And the here's the explanation of it on the back, because I didn't read the back of it before I grabbed it. I should have. Is peace, solitude, the great outdoors. That's it.
That's cool.
So that would not have worked. Here we go. We'll do this one next. Hack everything. You're in control. Join forces with the DedSec hacking group to take down factions that manipulate citizens in a hyper-connected world.
Is this Watchdog or one of them?
Which Watch Dogs is it?
3.
2.
It is Watch Dogs 2.
Yay.
3 is not out yet, Mallet. You are.
I don't know. I've never played any.
you
I don't
are-
even know what game that is.
You
Me
are
neither, that's
many
why I
a
just stayed
month
quiet.
early. All right, that. All right, those
I'm
are out of
not
the
good
way.
at this game, MPI. You know I'm not good at this game.
We'll
I
get
don't
good.
play console.
Me neither.
Sorry, that's all I play.
I mean, and plus, come on, all I've been playing lately is Destiny 2 and Civilization 6.
That's
Yeah, why did you
annoying.
buy a physical copy of Firewatch?
It was the same price, and I'd never played it before.
Why, though?
I don't know.
Why would you buy a digital copy of it? Why? Why though? See?
I didn't. I watched somebody else play it on YouTube.
Why would you
For
buy
free.
a digital copy over a physical copy? If you like physical
I wouldn't
copies.
go to buying a physical
Because I
copy.
have no room for physical, literally anything anymore. I've run out of room to put my clothes away properly. Like, I have no more dresser space, no more closet space, and no more storage space.
I had space. And I
Yeah,
wanted
'cause
it.
you have a house.
I
don't.
didn't when I bought it.
There's only like I still do once in a while, but there's one like entire series I have every physical copy of,
Mhm.
and it's original Sims all the way to Sims 4. Every expansion pack.
Hey.
like,
That's a
stuff pack.
lot.
It's 4 drawers full.
I believe it.
And I did not bring it here, but if I ever plan on like moving somewhere properly, there's gonna be half a box full of just that.
Just like a whole
And I'm
bookshelf
ready.
of Sims.
Because I had like collector's edition of every single
Nice.
everything, too.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I swear I've spent more in Sims than I probably have in like doctor visits. Genuinely.
Well,
Wish I could
don't
say the same.
don't go to the doctor in America.
Please, seriously.
I'm gonna chop my leg off and still be like, I'm gonna call an Uber.
Nah, I just paid off. Called out for my last visit. 5 months.
All right.
And they're gonna make me go in to get an MRI. So right back in. Yay.
Yeah, my boyfriend got into a car crash like start of the summer, and he's still paying that off, and it's great.
Yeah, it's some
So
crap,
then be
man.
like, that money should be going on dates. I'm just kidding. But like,
I mean, I agree with you.
You're
That
not wrong.
that would be way better than paying a hospital.
I'm sorry, like 300 a month. Guess what? Guess how
Oof.
much sushi I could get with 300 a month?
Oof.
Just saying.
God, that hurts. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
My car accident in high school paid for college.
Yeah.
So
The thing with him is like he has that on top of like type 1 diabetes.
Oh,
So
no.
the medical
Yep.
fees are huge for him.
Oh, it's
and
outrageous.
we've made this joke. I'm here like, if I marry you, we're moving out. We're not doing American healthcare.
Yeah, I don't blame
I
you.
mean, like, I'm dragging you to Sweden where it's free.
Yeah, I tried to move to London and they wouldn't let me. I tried.
Huh.
Richie's like, Sweden will tax me 35% of my income, but guess what? That's free education and free healthcare. I will take it.
I would be down for Sweden if only because I have so many medical issues. It would be way cheaper, even with the higher taxes.
The thing is, we're both real sick people. Like, we both have chronic illnesses, so we're both just kind of like, can we not live here? Thanks.
Oh.
I'm out.
All right. Let's do one last question, and I'm going to leave this up to you guys.
Oh, no.
Do you want to... I have 3 different games here. Do you want to do a PS4 launch title, an Xbox and, well, a Microsoft exclusive, or a Switch launch title?
Switch!
Never played the Switch.
I
Me too!
have! Yay!
I'll try it.
Okay.
We'll let him guess first.
We can do the other 2 afterwards if we want to. But this is a Switch launch title. Sword Fight, Wizard Battle, Face Off with Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere.
Wizard Battle, Switch, and Sword Fight.
Lock Eyes, Grab a Joy-Con, and Go Wild. Milk a Cow, Quick Draw, Dance Off, Samurai Training. Enjoy a variety... And did you have a guess?
I was gonna say the only thing I can think of is I played a lot of Wii, and I was gonna say the Wii Sports Resort, but that's not the Switch, unless they brought that over. I don't know.
It's not. Okay, so I'll give you a hint. It's not Wii Sports Resort, but it serves the same type of purpose for the Switch. So like Wii Sports, whenever the Wii came out, they kind of only made it to be like, this is how the Wii works.
Yeah.
Like, let's show off the hardware. This game was a launch title to kind of show off how the Switch's hardware works, specifically the Joy-Cons.
Is it something like Sonic in the Olympic Games, like it was on the Wii? Possibly?
It's not.
Okay. Then.
I
don't
think
know.
Mallet and I know this.
Wii Party? I don't know.
It is not
I only
Wii
have one
Party.
game on my...
What is it?
I'm not sure.
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch!
Yay!
This is the silliest game I've ever played, but it's
I love it.
really fun
Dude,
with
they
people.
so they asked you to milk a cow and just I'm not gonna do the gesture, but you know how the gesture works. They asked
It's
you
exactly
to also
what you
lock
think
eyes
it
with
is.
your opponent while you do it. So imagine just intensely milking a cow,
Glaring at someone.
glaring at someone, and you hear in the back milk noises and moo.
Yep. It is my favorite time to play it, and I'm not going to condone this for you, Luna, is after I've had a couple of adult bevs, because then it's just absolute insanity.
Why did we play this when we were all at your place? Because that would have been hysterical.
Everyone was very into Smash Brothers. That was playing video games.
Yeah, but everybody was also very drunk and would have been very into it.
The
I don't
Nintendo's
know.
great.
Y'all are grown. You
Just
can play
Dance.
video games.
Well, I wasn't drunk. I was watching everybody else get drunk.
That's a mood.
Only reason Stare made me leave when he did because I think he was concerned that I was going to pass out from having no sleep that weekend.
Probably.
I was
What?
completely sober.
What I find hilarious is like back home drinking age is 18.
Yeah.
I left 2 days before my birthday.
Oh,
Aww.
My friends are literally like, "You're going to a place and the drinking age is 21." Right when you turn 18. You're stupid. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Sucks to be you. Sucks
Oh well.
to be you.
I'm not missing out on much because my family just has a history of like alcohol just making them grumpy or sleepy, and I'm probably no exception.
Yeah.
So it's probably better I stay sober because if I get drunk, it's probably gonna be me on like grandma hours. Like I'm gonna go to bed at 7 p.m. if you touch me. I will
Yeah.
cut your toes off. Like, do not touch me.
That that happens though. I do that sometimes where I'm like, I've had a couple beers, I'm sleepy, I'm going to bed now, and then I just go to bed.
Okay.
That's the great part about being an adult. You can go to bed whenever you want.
Hey! If I want to go to bed at 3 p.m., I can go to bed at 3 p.m. and nobody can tell me otherwise, except my boss. They would have something to say about that.
So
yeah.
I kind of want to see if you guys can guess the last two because they're a little bit more obscure, but they're also not. They just weren't like huge hits. Like they're not like big names. So PS4 exclusive or Microsoft exclusive first?
Just do them both and do them quickly.
Okay. I'm gonna read this whole one and see if any of it gives it away.
Okay.
Because like part of it's partially in the name, but not fully the name. So whatever. Survival starts in the core. On the mysterious planet Far Eden, a courageous human survivor, Julie Adams, I think I pronounced that correctly, joins her charming Corebot companions on an epic adventure to save mankind. This is a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah, no idea. Unless it's Halo.
It's not Halo.
Okay.
It's definitely not Halo.
Mark, you know I can't watch MPI streams anymore because he streams while I'm at work!
I would also like to point out that I did not stream this game.
Ha!
I actually have literally never played it.
Then why do you own it?
So I worked in tech retail for a really long time. And with that, we got trainings through Microsoft. And whenever you did them, you could gain points. And when you gained points, you could buy games for like free or very steep discounts. So I bought this for like $5. Basically, I bought as many Microsoft exclusives as I could for as cheap as possible because I was like, maybe I'll play them one day.
Alright, I give up.
Yeah.
This is Recore.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Never heard of it. What is it?
So basically, you go to this planet, and you have to collect and customize your Corebot companion. And there's enemies there that you kind of like take them out, and it sort of gives me a Horizon Zero Dawn feel if you guys have played that or seen it, but not as cool. Okay, so last one. This is a PS4 launch title that was a pretty cool game that they should have done more with, in my opinion. Discover history's darkest secret. Blank introduces players to a unique vision of Victorian-era London, where man uses advanced technology to battle a powerful and ancient foe, as Galahad, a member of an elite order of knights, joins a centuries-old war that will determine the course of history forever.
Is it called the Round Table?
It is not.
Okay. I have no idea then.
It has a year in the title.
Order 1866 or something?
Yes, the Order 1866.
Hey, I got one!
Or 1886, sorry.
Execute Order 66. Alright. Woo!
Cool.
What is this making me realize? Like, I do not play console games, like, at all.
Yeah,
Woo!
and there were a fair bit of exclusives today.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Watch Dogs wasn't. Red Dead's not.
Yeah, but I've never played either of those either. What do you
I did stream Red Dead, Mark, if that helps you.
with the...
But I have not played Recore. I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I played through that and all of the DLC, which is a pretty similar game.
Okay.
But that's it. All right, guys. So we've gone for an hour and a half now. That's the nice part about starting it early, though, is we can go over a little bit, and it doesn't hurt as bad. It's 9:30, and you're gonna go play Destiny for the next 2 hours. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, I am, and
I don't want
to
hear it. You big baby.
I know.
So we'll go around the round table as per usual. Let's start up in the corner. Luna, where can people find you? What do you stream? When do you stream? And do you have anything big coming up for your stream that you want to let people know about?
I stream on Twitch, Lunaria. Pretty much like real simple, straightforward. Don't really have a schedule, but I try to stream Tuesday and Thursday nights. You can find me mainly on Twitter, and it's It should be Lunaria too. I think I just changed it recently because it got available. It was Loon Bum for a bit because Lunaria was taken.
I'm pretty sure it was whenever I tagged you in the show.
Yeah, so it's Lunaria, so
Nice.
same thing as well.
It's so satisfying when you get that name that's been taken, and you're like,
I
yes!
don't get it on Instagram! I have to have 2 eyes! But yeah, so I'm mainly on Twitter. And for big things coming up, so me and Boyfie actually only recently went public. And he's coming over this Thursday, and we're doing like a couple stream. We're gonna dye
nice.
hairs. So, because I'm a bleach blonde, but he's a natural blonde, so we're going silver and blue.
That'll be
So
fun.
that's coming up this Thursday. So if y'all want to see like shenanigans and me low key like using my boyfriend for clout, then I'll do it.
There you go.
Then come join, you know.
Shenanigans.
All right. Well, Purple Fox, then where can we find you at, man?
So you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all at PRPLxFoX. I made sure my name was unique, so I didn't have to do the whole like put an extra number and letter in there. So I got lucky there. But yeah, so Twitter, Twitch. I'm mostly on Twitter. I've been trying to expand into Instagram, but with work and stuff, it's hard to make clips to post on to Instagram. So I like to have a lot of conversation and be real social on Twitter. So I post every day, good morning to everyone, and, you know, talk to people. And so I'm majorly on there. So, you know, shoot me an at, and I'd love to have a conversation with everyone. I do stream on a schedule. So I stream Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm always on those days, and then on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those other days, it just depends on my schedule. You know, if I'm around and playing, then yeah, I'm going to be on. If not, then, you know, I'm busy. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. That's where you can find both of our new guests tonight. You can find both of their names are in chat. Just click them, drop them a follow, and stop by their stream sometime. Mallet, what about you? Where can the people find you? When do you stream? What's going on with you?
When do you stream? Well, for those of you who know me, and probably those of you who don't, y'all know I'm falling apart completely. My body is killing me, and I haven't streamed in 2 months because it hurts too much to sit here and smile constantly. So, if I come back, it'll be after the new year. I'm looking at moving. I'm planning quite a few things outside of the internet somehow. Don't ask me how that's possible. I don't know either. But right now, honestly, a lot of my energy is going to figuring out exactly what is wrong with me.
Fair.
And because we still don't officially know for sure. The doctors have their idea. And if I have what they think I have, it means physical therapy and a whole lot of other stuff. And I'm falling into little teeny tiny. No, my spines get fused together eventually. Isn't that great? So
super.
Yeah.
It's the best, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I already can't bend over.
Except you know it's not.
Well, I already can't really bend over and pick things up.
I mean, at least you'll have a valid reason to sit in front of your computer all day.
Ha!
True.
Yes.
Fair.
But anyway, I'm still here. I'm still participating in charity stuff and stuff like that, and I'm hanging on other people's streams. But for now, the Mallet train has ground to a halt, and until I know where I am, like, personally, if that makes any sense, it's hard enough just to go to work.
Yeah.
Don't push yourself. Like,
I have to. I gotta pay rent. Gotta pay rent. I gotta eat.
Yeah.
push yourself, but not like reasonably.
Which is why I'm not streaming.
Yeah.
So that way, if I want to scream at somebody, I'm not insulting people.
That's good.
Health over content.
Hey, but yeah, if you want to hang out on Twitter or like Instagram or whatever, Mallet editor, you know, all that jazz.
Well, cool. Make sure to go drop Mallet a follow on the Twitter, and that way you can keep up and chat with our wonderful friend here whenever we're not live on TRUtalk. You guys can always find me on twitch.tv/MrPureInstinct, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff are the same. You can find me here on Tuesday nights. I stream Monday through Friday, pretty much all day. So stop by. We play a lot of story-based games. We play some Destiny and other multiplayer games. We talk about mental health, and we have a lot of fun. So stop by sometime and hang out with us. You'll have a good time. If you are listening to this podcast on Twitch and you missed out on the beginning half of it, or you just want to listen to it again, it'll be available tomorrow, which is Wednesday, on your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube at 11:30-ish Central Standard Time. Some of the podcast platforms take a little bit longer for it to filter through, but once it's live, you'll know because we'll tweet it and you can go check it out. One final announcement, and this goes specifically to True affiliates. I'm looking at you guys. If you want to be on the show from now through the rest of the year, the sign up is open. It's going to be in the Discord as soon as we're done with this show. I'm going to put it in there and pin it. We are going from now every Tuesday until December 17th. The 17th will be the last episode of the year because the next Tuesday is Christmas Eve, and the one after that is New Year's Eve. So we'll have both of those nights off to hang out with friends and family. I like you guys, but not that much. Yeah.
I've got
yeah. I'm going to hang out with friends and family on those nights, as everyone should.
I'll be on a 22-hour flight.
Oof.
Sucks to be you.
That does not sound fun. But, yeah, guys, it'll be in the typical TRUgaming Discord in the TRUtalk podcast channel where you can find it. If you have been on the show before, give people a chance to sign up that haven't been. So we'll kind of give it until, like, tomorrow afternoon. And then if people aren't signing up, we'll start taking people who have already been on before. Just want to make sure that people who haven't been on get a chance to do it because there's a lot of you guys out there. There's a lot of True affiliates, so it's kind of hard to make sure everyone gets to be on. So... yeah, guys, I will drop that link in that channel as soon as this is over. Guys, thanks for hanging out. All of you, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. PurpleFox, thanks for sticking with us when you're having some technical difficulties and not just giving up like some people do. Some people would be like, forget it, I'm going to bed. But I appreciate you working through the troubles, man. Everybody have a great night, a safe weekend, and we will catch y'all next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye. And happy Thanksgiving to people who are celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Bye.